Hey guys, hope you are doing amazing. I'm making this quick video for you guys to share about all that God is doing in the city and through our ministry. Sorry I can't be on this call with you guys because I'm probably working this day. But man, I'm excited to share with you because it has been absolutely amazing. So for those of you who don't know myself, my name is Daniel, and my wife and I, we started an outreach group called Love on Hamilton, and we started it 10 years ago now. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary in our ministry. And honestly, it started off with very humble beginnings. It was just reading the book of Acts to see what the early church was doing. And they were going out, they were preaching the gospel, healing the sick, casting out demons. And we're like, man, why isn't this happening in Hamilton? And can we be used by God? Right? We were working full-time jobs and we still are. And we just felt like, are we qualified enough? And we realize it's God is the one that qualifies us. So all he needs from us is our availability. So we literally just went out on the streets, made ourselves available for God to use, and we kept going every single week to pray for people, to share the gospel. And we started handing out hot chocolates and coffees and this and that, and just blessing people. And we saw so many testimonies, even lives being transformed. We've seen so many people receive deliverance, and even people from the streets who have completely transformed their lives, and they're now actually in our group serving with us. And they were once addicted to drugs. They were once lived on the streets, and now they're on our team preaching the gospel to other people. So it's been amazing. And I would say the past 3 or 4 years, probably around when COVID started, after that, we just saw an explosion in our ministry. So many people started coming out, so many testimonies, just started building momentum. It started spreading to different churches. People started hearing about us, and they're like, I want to be a part of what God is doing in Hamilton. And the encouraging thing is, we just shared to people, look, myself and my wife, we're both introverted. I would say we're not, naturally gifted in evangelism, but we just simply make ourselves available. And that's how God uses us. And people are seeing that and are being inspired by it to say, how we felt at the start is like, God, can you really use somebody like me? And I can definitely tell you guys, he absolutely can. And in fact, he wants to, because he gets all the glory because of that. And then for the first time, we did this year called Jesus Festival. So it's been amazing. We've been a part of so many different events leading up to this. Of course, Solomon with God Heal Our Land. All these events that have been happening, I feel like are building momentum to what God is doing. And we just kept that momentum going. And funny enough, we actually, last year, we went to go evangelize and minister at a pagan festival. And we actually had a very fruitful time. We prayed for lots of people. We shared the gospel. And that's when the idea came in with the Jesus Festival. We're like, why isn't there a Jesus Festival celebrating all that God is doing? And literally, it was the same thing that happened with Love on Hamilton, a very small vision. We were thinking, let's just have a small barbecue, a little get together with church leaders and minister leaders, pastors, and we'll just have a little barbecue and just have fun. And sure enough, we had a vision to have Sean Foyett from the States. He runs a worship band called Let Us Worship. We've always followed his ministry. We've just been inspired by his faithfulness and his boldness and his courage. And we're like, man, wouldn't it be amazing to have him in Hamilton? And sure enough, as we had this idea, and first of all, I should share, it took 3 months to get the permit for Gage Park. And that's where the event happened, at Gage Park, Hamilton, for those of you who were not there. And it took 3 months. We finally booked the day. And then I found out when we had this idea with Sean Foyett coming, I log on Facebook and I see he's coming September 5th to 10th, which is within the day of our Jesus Festival, which was September 7th. And I was like, what are the chances of that? So I reached out to their team. I was like, where are you guys going? Which locations are you visiting? We just booked this day at Gage Park, and we'd love to have you guys a part of it. And sure enough, they could only come on the Friday, which is the day before September 6th. And they were saying, we need to know within a few days, though. Otherwise, this can't happen, because we're trying to go to Toronto. That was kind of the venue that they were trying to go to, but it wasn't working out. All the doors were closing in Toronto. And then we're like, wow, this would be a miracle if we can book the Friday within a few days. And sure enough, lo and behold, we got the permit for Friday. Within 3 days, they got back to us, the city of Hamilton. And so we booked the Friday. And all of a sudden, this very small vision that we originally had and just exploded, because obviously Sean has a big following. And then we had a bunch of churches come on board and become vendors for the Jesus Festival, which is on the Saturday. And honestly, it was amazing for anybody that was there. I would say a huge miracle with that was the weather. It really tested our faith, because throughout all the days leading up, including the morning, it said 90% rain and thunderstorms the whole day. As the event was going to happen, so 90%, and everybody's messaging us and emailing us, is the event canceled? Is the event canceled? But we prayed, and the Lord spoke to us, and he said, no, it's going to be beautiful. Come on out and just go. So we actually went live the day before, and we just encouraged people, have faith. Let's come on out. Let's trust God. This is the Jesus Festival. This is all about him. It's for his glory. So come on out. And sure enough, this was literally the biggest testimony of the whole event, I would say, was just the heavens. It looked like it just opened up as soon as the event started. And in the middle of it, we saw a rainbow in the sky in front of the band shell as Sean was worshiping. And everybody was pointing at it and just praising God and worshiping. And we had hundreds of people on their knees at the front, just repenting and giving their lives to Christ. We saw a lot of salvations. We're still connecting with people, still hearing so many testimonies. And there was even people throwing their drugs on stage out of repentance. And even one person that was living in one of the condos across the street, he heard the music and then he saw the rainbow, and it intrigued him to come on out. And sure enough, he gave his life to the Lord. He actually said he was suicidal. He was so depressed, and he gave his life to the Lord. And now we have a team connecting with him and discipling him. And I just say, man, even for that one soul, it was all worth it. But we saw so many testimonies. And from there, we just saw an expansion within our ministry. Now we have ministry groups in different cities as well. We have Love on Waterloo region. We got one starting in Brampton. And I just pray that this momentum continues to grow. And even as Solomon shares, we're going to, God willing, have more events coming up, but we just need people to come on board and be supportive of all of this, because this is all for his glory, for his kingdom. And so thank you guys for your support. And I just encourage you, never doubt what God can do with a small seed sown. And all he wants from you is your availability, not your ability. He wants your availability. So make yourself available, and God will do amazing things through you guys. So God bless you. I hope you guys are encouraged. If you guys want to learn more about Love on Hamilton, you go to loveonhamilton.com and be a part of it as well. And about the events, it's called Jesus Festival. So you can go to jesusfestival.ca, and God willing, we'll have another one next year. So God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you later.